Hey, have you ever thought about how you'd actually code something like a game of tic-tac-toe, or maybe a spreadsheet, or even just a map in a game? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to level up from simple lists and jump right into the world of 2D arrays in Java. This is the tool that makes all of that stuff possible. So let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. We'll start by figuring out why we even need to go beyond simple lists. Then we'll uncover the big idea, the array of arrays. After that, we'll get our hands dirty with the actual code, see how to loop through everything, and finally, I'll give you a super handy cheat sheet to wrap it all up.
Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, from lists to grids. I mean, before we jump into the how, we really got to understand the why, right? What's the problem with the regular old arrays you already know?
You know, a simple standard array is basically just a list. It's awesome for anything that's in a sequence. Think about it, to-do list, a ranking of high scores, or just a line of numbers. It's just one straight line of stuff. Super simple, super effective for what it does.
But what happens when your data isn't a neat little line? I mean, how in the world would you represent a tic-tac-toe board? Or a spreadsheet with all its rows and columns? A simple list? No way. It just doesn't work. And that is the exact problem that 2D arrays were invented to solve.
And that leads us perfectly into section 2, the array of arrays. Now listen up, because this is the core idea. This is the mental model that, once you get it, makes everything else just click.
Okay, so what is this magical thing? Well, at its core, a multidimensional array is actually surprisingly simple. It's just an array. But here's the twist. Instead of each slot holding a number or a piece of text, each slot holds, wait for it, another array. Seriously, that's it. That's the whole secret.
Here's the best way I know to picture this. Imagine you've got a big empty box. Now, inside that big box, you place a few smaller boxes, all in a nice row. Those smaller boxes are where you'll put your actual data, your numbers or whatever. The big box, that's your 2D array. And each one of those smaller boxes inside, that's an array within the array. And this table here just lays it all out. That big array, that's our main container, our nums array. The smaller arrays inside it, those are what we call rows. And then the actual items inside those smaller arrays are our columns. So whenever you hear someone say a 3x4 grid, what they're really saying is, hey, I've got one big array that's holding 3 smaller arrays, and each of those little arrays has 4 elements in it. See? Rows and columns.
All right, section 3. We've got the concept locked down. Now it's time to see how this whole array of arrays thing actually translates into real Java syntax. Let's get coding.
And you're going to love this, because the syntax makes perfect sense. You already know that one set of square brackets means I'm an array, so what do you think 2 sets mean? Exactly. It literally means I'm an array of arrays. It's that simple.
Okay, let's break this down. When you write new integer 3, 4, you're basically giving Java a 2-part command. The first number, the 3, tells Java, hey, create a main array for me, and make sure it has 3 empty slots. Then, the second number, the 4, follows up and says, oh, and by the way, each of those 3 slots needs to be filled with its own brand new array, and each of those should have enough space for 4 integers. And the golden rule to remember here is, it's always rows first, then columns. Always. Yeah, this quote just nails it. The first number, 3, is how many of those smaller arrays or rows you want. The second number, 4, is how big each one of those smaller arrays is. If you think about it like that, it connects the code right back to that idea of a big box holding smaller boxes. So how do we find one specific element? Well, it's just like using coordinates on a map. Let's say we want nums 1, 2. First, Java goes to the main array and looks for index 1. Remember, we start counting from 0, so index 1 is actually the second row. That gives it the entire second row array. Then it looks inside that row array for index 2, which is the third element. And boom, you've found your value. It's always go to the right row, then find the right column.
Okay, so we can build a grid. We can grab any element we want. That's pretty cool. But the real power, the reason we do all this, is when we need to go through every single element, like when you want to draw the whole game board on the screen or add up all the numbers in a spreadsheet. And that brings us to section 4, looping through the matrix.
Now, this makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Since we have a structure inside of another structure, an array of arrays, we're going to need a loop inside of another loop to get to everything. We call this a nested loop.
The outer loop's job is to walk through the rows one by one, and for each row it lands on, the inner loop's job is to walk through all the columns in that specific row.
And in Java, you basically got two main ways to do this. First, there's the traditional for loop. This is the one where you use counters, usually I for the rows and j for the columns. This gives you total control because you always know your exact coordinates. Then you've got the enhanced for loop. It's often cleaner and easier to read because instead of giving you index numbers, it gives you the data directly. The only trick is you have to know exactly what data it's handing you.
And this right here is the absolute key to understanding the enhanced loop with 2D arrays. Please burn this into your brain. The outer loop does not give you a single element. It hands you the entire inner array. It gives you a whole row at a time. Then your inner loop takes that row you just received and iterates over it to get the individual items. It's a really clever and clean way to handle it once you get the hang of it.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. So that brings us to our final section, number 5, your 2D array cheat sheet. Let's just boil everything we've talked about down to the absolute must-know points.
Here we go, the essentials. The big idea? It's an array of arrays, a grid. How do you declare it? With 2 sets of square brackets. How do you create it? New type with rows and columns. How do you access an element? Array name with row index and column index. And how do you process it all? Nested loops. That is literally the core of everything right there.
You know, if you get stuck, just remember the magic number 2. It takes 2 sets of square brackets to declare it. It takes 2 numbers to set its size. You need 2 indices to find an element. And you need 2 loops, a nested loop, to go through all of it. When it comes to 2D arrays, it's all about 2.
So, I want to leave you with a little challenge. You now have the power to create and navigate any kind of grid you can imagine. So think about this. A maze. That's really just a grid, right? Some spots are walls, some are open paths. How would you use a 2D array to represent that? And what kind of logic, maybe using loops, would you use to find your way from the start to the finish? It's a fun one to think about. Thanks so much for joining me today.